Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg and the Digest, and we're continuing our talk because it's National Severe Weather Awareness Week here in Wisconsin. Yeah, I shouldn't say that national, just Severe Weather Awareness Week in Wisconsin. They do it nationally all over the place, but ours is this week here in Wisconsin. Let's jump right to it, and we start with severe weather happens everywhere in Wisconsin, and it's true. There's no place in Wisconsin that you can go that you can't get some. There, when you take if you ever take the storm spotting class, they had a MythBuster about would a tornado go, no tornadoes will go through Lake Mendota, go around it because there's pressures this and that. No, severe weather can happen anywhere, and we saw that a water spout happened. It was a couple years ago, but believe on Monona, wasn't it, Andrew? Do you remember that? So I mean, it happens. Some of you have seen it or been through it. I think we've all picked up tree branches and whatnot, but it happens, and that's why we talk about it this whole month we should talk about this whole month, but this whole week here during the Severe Weather Awareness Week. All right, let's talk about the Storm Prediction Center thunderstorm risk outlooks, and this helps identify. And the outlooks are put out ahead of storms coming in the area. They put it out a couple days ahead, and then they keep, fine tuning it. We see it with the snowstorms, like snow's coming in. How bad is it going to be? Well, we keep getting it fine tuned until it gets there, right? Well, we get these. They come out of Norman, Oklahoma, and they go as this. So generally, thunderstorms. General, they'll just say it's usually painted in a light green or blue, and it's just thunderstorms. There could be some lightning, local flooding. From any of the storms. A marginal risk, a 1, isolated severe thunderstorm possible, limited in duration and or coverage and or intensity. We see a lot of that, and we see a lot of slight risk too. Scattered severe storms possible, short-lived or not widespread, isolated intense storms possible. I'd say we see a lot of that. Now, we get into these other ones. I mean, at any point, you should know the risk factors and know that there's storms coming. But when you get into the enhanced, now you're starting to talk about numerous severe thunderstorms possible and will persist and could present widespread or even a few intense storms like heavy hail, damaging winds, like widespread. Other ones we're talking like, you know, might be a little microbursts here and there, small burst of wind out of a storm. And so only a neighborhood gets hit. And you see this all the time, right? Versus we see some of these enhanced or go moderate risk even with the widespread severe storms, likely long-lived, widespread, and intense. We're thinking now derecho, right? That's those long, severe thunderstorm lines that just keep reproducing damage and goes for several states. That's when you're talking about moderate and high. I don't. There's not been too many times I have seen high in Wisconsin. Doesn't mean it can't happen though, right? And yeah, you're looking at widespread severe storms expected, long lived, very widespread, and particularly intense. And when you see that come up, and I feel like we definitely see it in the South quite a bit, but that can't be ruled out here in Wisconsin or the Midwest. But we've definitely seen some moderate times. Usually they're not really big, drawn out circles, but when you see them drawn out, then you potentially, and you hear the word derecho or a long line of severe storms, you got to be ready. These are put out again by the National Weather Service out of Norman, Oklahoma. They're the only ones who put that out, but gets you an idea of what the storms are as they come in. Let's talk about some of the threats from these storms as related. First, damaging winds and home safety. Most frequent type of severe weather vulnerability if you're outside would be camping, like you're under a tree, or boating, a motor or a canoe. Damaging winds, strong winds that can come before the rain even starts. Sometimes we even see this show up on radar. And I'm talking. By the way, I'm talking with experience that I've had. I'm not a meteorologist by any means. We're here to share good safety information. I definitely follow as one of the hobbies I do. I keep up with in what I've seen out there and heard from our weather folk. And we're going to be talking with Tim Hallbach later this week about some of these terms and stuff. But yeah, when you see the winds coming ahead of the storms, when your severe thunderstorm warning, doesn't have to be raining out to get some of those strong winds. Hail. Well, hail's probably coming during the storm, and I don't think you want to be caught outside for any type of hail. How they measure the hail and when it's when considered severe, that's at the quarter inch and above. Quarter inch, a quarter size or 1 inch hail, and then it just gets increases from there. There have been reports of softball size hail. Do I ever want to see that in my lifetime? Maybe in a freezer, like you picked it up outside your own house, but not mine, unless you need a new roof. Moving on, lightning finally can strike near any storm. If you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. And at least wait 30 minutes after the last thunder before you head outside. Too many videos out there of people watch, oh, it's raining out. Boom! I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they happen. In fact, this is what you're seeing right here on the screen. So when you hear thunder roar, go indoors, stop all activities. You golfers out there, get off the golf course. We had that lightning strike several years ago now at one of the Madison golf courses where lightning struck. And unfortunately, it electrocuted a couple of people on the golf course. You hear again, there's no safe place for lightning, so you might as well get inside where you can kind of be safe, but you got to stay away from windows and electronic things. I also like, and this happens so much, and I'm not calling my wife out because I've done it too, but I'm going to go take a shower during the middle of a thunderstorm. You're like, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, you might want to wait on that. Just saying. All right, moving on here. If you want to build that safety kit, stay safe. We want to help you do that. We've got some safety tips here of building those kits, and yeah, we want you to stay safe. So create that emergency plan and practice it. Know your designated shelter that is located at your home, work, and school, and be ready to use it when you hear a tornado warning is issued. Have multiple ways to receive those warnings. We talked about that today, and we'll continue to talk about that. Don't rely on any single source for important life-saving information. Spread it around. Get as much as you can. Right? More is better. And, of course, have multiple ways on reaching that. Keep up on the date and daily forecasts in your area and create an emergency kit for your home. If you got it and haven't built it yet, you should. I recommend it. And some of those things you can put in those kits are like flashlights, water, food, non-perishable foods, and blankets, safety kit, meds for the family. I mentioned yesterday, and I'll mention every day this week, I have a safety kit. It is in our shelter area that case anything happens. And included in there are blankets and to cover up if you're in a storm and you're going to go to your shelter. You may want to cover up with something too in case stuff falls down. You're trying to find a place that is a safe area, but still doesn't mean dust debris might fall down on you. So find that place, be safe, and plan ahead when these severe storms come in. And speaking of practicing, there is a practice weather drills, two different tornado drills happening on April 7th, weather dependent, of course. One's at 1:45, is at 6:45, and we just booked it today. We always practice the tornado drill here at City Hall, and Andrew and I have done it where we filmed each other going to the basement, was we were talking about today. But we're going to work with Joe Povemacher and our emergency management. He is the lead here for that, and we're going to interview him during the practice drill. So we're going to show you what's behind the scenes here at the city of Fitchburg as far as getting and using the tornado shelter, and just talk some safety with him as well. But definitely take part in the tornado drill coming up here on the 7th. All right, that does it for me. We'll talk more severe weather later this week here on Talking Fitchburg. For now, we're taking a break. Coming up next, we're talking with the Chamber on a Chamber update. Next, right here on TF.